Let me ask you something. How many times have you set yourself some New Year's resolutions only to find yourself back at your old habits by February or mid-January? I'm guessing a lot of times, otherwise you would not have clicked on this video. And you're in the right spot because I'm gonna explain why New Year's resolutions suck and they're basically designed to fail based on what behavioral science says. And more importantly, I'm gonna share the strategies that actually work to actually create the habits and see the change that you want to see next year. Again, from a scientific point of view. Let's go. Reason number one why New Year's resolutions are a bad idea is that most likely you base your resolutions on motivation. Because in the beginning of the year or in the end of the current year, you are so motivated to change things. Next year is going to be different. Next year I'm going to be fit and healthy and I'm going to take care of my finances and I'm going to be more social and I'm going to eat healthy and whatever else you want to achieve. However, as nice as this motivation feels and as much energy this motivation might give you in the beginning, motivation always fades at some point. That's just our human nature. Which is also why, if you've been to the gym before, gyms are usually packed on Mondays and usually pretty empty towards the end of the week. Because in the beginning of an era, whether that's a week or a year, people tend to be a lot more motivated than in the end. And since they only rely on the motivation to do the things that they want to do, like going to the gym, they only do it in the beginning of that area, week, year, but not in the end. So as nice as motivation is, you should not rely on motivation alone. Use it in the beginning to kickstart what you want to kickstart, but your strategy should be a little different. But more on that later. First, let's talk about reason number two why resolutions are not the best idea, because usually resolutions sound something like, I will get fit next year, I will eat healthy next year, I will start waking up early. And as nice as these goals might sound, there are two problems with these type of goals. First, they're vague. What does eating healthy even mean? What does waking up early even mean? What does success mean? What does fit mean? You need to be way more specific with your goals. So if, for example, one of your goals is to eat healthier. Sounds good so far, but what does that even mean? Does that mean you want to eat more whole foods? Do you want to eat less sugar? Do you want to eat more protein? Do you want to support your healthy blood sugar levels? Be more specific with what you want to do in that area that you want to get better at. But even if you are specific with your resolution, typically we tend to make another mistake with our resolutions, which is to be way too ambitious. You need to stay realistic, because having goals that are just out of your reach is not a good idea, because it's gonna demotivate you and it's gonna set you back, and most probably you're just gonna give up on your goals 100%. For example, if you want to get more fit, and you set yourself the resolution to hit the gym every day next year for an hour every day. Some people might do that, but first, it's not healthy because you need your rest days. And second, going from 0 or once a week to 7 times a week is most likely not going to work out in the long run. Unless maybe you lost your job and it's your new project to hit the gym every day and you have all the time in the world, maybe then you're going to do it. But I'm guessing that you do have to do some sort of work and you do have some sort of other things that you have to do in your life, which might get in the way of you hitting the gym every day for an hour. So instead of being wishy-washy and overly ambitious, be specific, tell yourself what you want to do, and set those specific goals realistically. And this setting goals realistically is also so important, because reason number 3 why resolutions tend to fail is the infamous all or nothing mentality. You've probably caught yourself adapting this mentality at least once in your life, because we've all been there. For example, you've been sticking to your healthy diet Monday through Friday, but then there's the weekend, so you have a little cheat meal on Saturday, and then you think, honestly, I screwed up already, I'll just cheat the whole day and then Sunday I can just eat whatever I want either. And then by Monday you think, okay, my diet, which is in general not the best idea to do a diet, but that's another topic, but my diet already failed anyway, so I'm just gonna go to McDonald's every day from now on. Or if you did not stick to your workout schedule and you skipped a day, how many times have you told yourself, okay, then I can just let it slip the rest of the weekend, the rest of the month, and the rest of the year? So what can you do instead to not set New Year's resolutions, but instead actually help yourself get better at whatever it is you want to get better at? So there are 3 main strategies that behavioral science says that work if you want to change your habits for good. Number 1 is to start small. Don't go into the next year thinking, I'm going to be healthy and fit. I'm going to hit the gym every day. I'm not going to eat any sugar anymore. I'm only going to eat home cooked meals from now on. And also I'm going to save a lot of money. So I'm not going to go out anymore. And also I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning every day. And then I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to take a morning walk in the sunlight. Oh, and also I'm going to start my own six-figure business, of course. But instead, pick out little tiny steps from these big goals that you want to get done first. And once those steps are a habit, then you can take on another new habit. For example, if you want to get fit and you're starting at 0, start with taking a walk every morning for 20 minutes. If that seems too big already, 5-minute walk every day for 2 weeks. If you're good at that, go to the gym twice a week, half an hour each, whatever seems doable. If you want to start eating healthy, try to lower your sugar intake. Try to eat a little bit more protein with every meal. Start small and start with whatever is the most feasible for you. And something that helps a lot with starting good habits is something called habit stacking, or simply combining 2 habits with one another. For example, I've been trying to stretch more because as much as I love working out, I do not stretch nearly enough. So what I've started doing is whenever I listen to a friend's voice message at home, I'm sitting on the floor and doing my stretches because there's nothing more I can do anyways. Or when I call a friend, I take a walk. And this habit stacking is also part of the basic model of James Clear's Atomic Habits, who says that you should not focus on the goal, but the system instead, which basically means that you should not tell yourself you want this or that outcome, like losing 10 pounds or making 6 figures, but instead on the input. Because that's the only thing you can really actually influence. And you build those systems by, for example, habit stacking, and through that building routines. And routines are basically just a whole chain of habits, which you don't even have to think about anymore. So it's a lot easier because you just know when you get up, for example, you put in your workout clothes, you do your little workout, you have your healthy breakfast, and then you get up with your day or whatever the routine looks like. You do not have to have a morning routine in order to be healthy, which is exactly the main idea of a system that works for you, because you just have to find the system that works for your life. No matter how many productive and healthy morning routines you see on YouTube, you can totally use that as inspiration, obviously. But if in the morning you just have other things to do because you have kids, or you have a job that starts at 6 a.m., or you're just a night owl, or you just hate your mornings, you don't have to do a morning routine. Find the times and the ways to integrate the new habits you want to get used to into your life, the way it fits into your life. And what helps a lot with that is first to make those habits easy, and second to make them obvious, meaning design your environment in a way that helps you to get used to those new habits. For example, if you want to eat healthier, one very easy way to do so is to eat less sugar. How can you change your environment to help you with that habit? To not have any junk food with a lot of sugar in your kitchen or your apartment. Because if it's not there, it's a lot easier to not eat it. And vice versa. If you want to eat more vegetables, home cooked, always have frozen vegetables in your freezer that are already pre-cooked that you only have to put in the air fryer or the pot. And what makes this system thing even easier is to not focus on what you want to achieve or what you want to do, but instead of who you want to be. And I know this might sound a bit woo-woo, and I'm not a woo-woo type of person, most often at least, but hear me out. If, for example, you want to eat healthier, it's a nice goal, and if you have your system in place and it's easier for you to follow through with the habits, that's even better. But if you identify as a healthy eating person, it at some point will really, I promise you, feel natural to eat healthy. Take it from me. I love vegetables. I love protein. I know this sounds a bit weird, but I love plain natural food, like pure rice, pure raw carrots. I think they're tasty. Pure tofu. My friends keep mocking me that I just love pure tofu, but I've just trained my taste buds and my intuition to like healthy food. Don't get me wrong, I also really like junk food and stuff, but eating healthy for me now just feels like the most natural thing. And with that, it just feels super easy, because it feels actually hard for me to not eat healthy. And research backs this up. James Clear, for example, in Atomic Habits, also recommends you to adopt the identity of whatever you want to become. In his book, he has this example with a person who still smokes cigarettes but wants to stop. And instead of saying something like, I want to quit smoking cigarettes, now he says that he is a non-smoker. And again, I know that sounds a bit woo-woo, but these things work. Try it out. Try to tell yourself you are a healthy eater now. You are a gym goer now. You are someone who can take care of their personal finance. And even if this in the beginning feels obviously a bit fake, the saying fake it till you make it also applies to behavioral psychology. So give this a try. And if one of your resolutions for the next year would have been to get healthy, check out my video right here where I share 31 healthy habits that I wish I knew sooner, because they really were a game changer. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next year. Happy New Year!